Hello, and welcome back to the Sonic Squeeze. Today, we're talking about the new Deafheaven album, New Bermuda. It is a black metal shoegaze fusion band, black gaze if you will. just realised how funny that sounds. Fucking metal bands with their subgenres,
if you're into
man.
black gaze, this is the right album for you.
Metal bands and like
the worst for
and dance, metal bands and like real like dance music nerds are the worst for subgenres.
It just irks me, something terrible.
Yeah.
You couldn't listen to like some big metal fans talking to each other about genres for more than 30 seconds.
Post-hardcore and post-black hardcore and post-black speed hardcore.
And the funny thing is that like they all hate each other's subgenre. It's great.
We had a lot of friends who were metal fans in school.
Yeah. Anyway. This band
Back
seems to
now.
have a kind of Marmite status in the world amongst the metal community, should I say. People seem to think that they're either the best thing since sliced bread, or just I've heard the term hipster metal has been thrown around
Hipster metal.
because
Yet another subgenre.
yeah, you don't want to listen to that. That's black metal, but like it appeals to the public. No, it appeals to people, so don't bother listening to that. Basically, hate is gonna hate.
Haters are gonna hate.
Hate is
really gonna hate.
What did you guys think of the album?
I want to set off first,
Okay.
making it clear. I fucking hate every piece of vocal work on this entire album.
What?
I cannot stand it at all. It's awful when I hear it.
Okay.
Right? And the drumming in areas is excellent, and you can tell the drummer who recorded is really talented, but they have a lot of blast beat in this. I have a lot of friends who are drummers on OQL, and I don't like blast beat. I think it's really
that's fair
boring
enough.
and shitty. That's the stuff I want to get out of the way, so you know that every song that applies to. But I didn't necessarily dislike the album. I thought the rest of the music on most of the tracks could be really good.
Still,
That is where my eyelashes are located.
you have an eyelash. Yeah.
Okay. That just happened.
That just happened, yeah. So, starting off with the first one, start this album playing, I love the intro on the first track, with the bells going from left to right and the distant church bells in the background. I thought it was really cool and atmospheric.
Yeah.
It then got into the very metal guitar-y bit, and I don't like it much, it's not my style, but you could tell in a lot of it there were good melodies going on there. It wasn't just all thrash and distortion, there was some nice music going into it.
I love the kind of juxtaposition you get with the crazy drumming. Like, it got to the end of some songs and I actually physically felt sorry for the drummer because I thought, that was insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like, I couldn't believe someone could do it. And the 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like, the standard kind of length in this album is 8 to 10 minutes long.
I'd love to hear that they did at least one part of it in one take.
You know what? I think it is one take.
I would if these songs were like one take through the whole song, that would be incredible.
Because
I don't think
something I actually appreciate about the production is that it sounds like it could have been recorded in someone's basement, and that's not a bad criticism. I think it gives it a lot of personality.
I see what you mean? Yeah, it
No,
definitely.
I do understand.
It's not super clean. It's not like totally sort of precise.
It's got some character to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Even some of the like the drumming, like especially on I think it's Baby Blue, you listen to like the reverb on those drums, it sounds like it could be live. I liked it, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought that it was very atmospheric album. They got the kind of feeling behind everything that they were doing exactly how they wanted.
Yeah.
It was also, as a metal album and as a black metal album, a very dark album. It was unrelenting at times, but it was mixed in with a lot of really simple kind of guitar riffs, which really worked well compared to the like
sometimes
complex.
I think they were a little too simple.
Sometimes.
Like the first song, I thought that they had this like little guitar
like an
picking thing at the end.
arpeggiated pick.
And I thought it was kind of dull.
I liked it
at all.
only because as a thing by itself, I don't think it was amazing. But in relation to what it was with, I thought it was kind of it was really pushing the boundary of what I would define as good.
I wanna
But
go
it was there. Like
Talking about the
I could feel it.
the levels of it, because I think at points it was really good, and at points it was always alright, but it never quite hit. Particularly for me on the song "Come Back," the first 5 minutes of that song, I don't like. There wasn't enough interesting in there. There wasn't good enough there. An interesting move of that song after the first 5 minutes, where it goes to almost 5 minutes of sort of more chill guitar stuff. I thought that was incredible. I thought that was one of the best bits.
Did you really like that?
I loved the second half of that song, and the first half I thought, like, literally, I put here like the first half I'd give a 4, and the last half I'd give an 8. Like that was the level of difference between the second
that
and the
song. Like the first half is like so menacing.
Yeah,
It's like I actually quite enjoyed it.
I thought you'd like that first half because the drumming wasn't blast beat.
yeah.
That was like one of the
that
few
did have some
moments
of the-
in which
yeah.
it wasn't, and I
think
really liked
as the
drumming
album went
in it.
on, it got less blast beaty.
I actually
the
preferred
last
it.
few songs.
I find it really hard to keep up with that pace, like because I'm trying to listen to it, I'm trying to be with it like the whole way. I'm trying to ride that wave, and it's a lot of hard work. It's like I imagine how surfing is. You're either like on the wave, like riding it, and it's hard, or you're off, and it can throw you off quite.
I've heard a
easily.
lot of people describe this album as being post rock, and until the song "Come Back," I wasn't getting the vibes. Especially in the first 2 songs, I wasn't feeling anything post rock. Towards the end of "Baby Blue," there was a little bit. I wasn't quite sure, but "Come Back," it really did have like a post rock feeling to it. Especially as the transition between the bit you didn't like and the bit you liked was very post rock. I really enjoyed it, and the wah guitar solo was wicked.
Are you
so good.
in which song that guitar?
That wasn't Come Back.
Come Back.
Come Back and Baby Blue both had 2 awesome guitar solos.
Yeah, it was 3/4 of the way through the song.
Yeah.
Halfway
Yeah.
through, something like that. Yeah.
The guitar solo in Baby Blue, I really.
And then it builds up again
The
with like
wah
a
pedal in
really
Baby Blue.
chunky guitar. But then it has a weird fade out into some like traffic information.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I quite liked it.
I thought it was right. I think they did a lot of stuff like that where there were sort of interesting bits in this album, especially in breaks and stuff, where they'd and particularly in the intro of the first song, where I was talking about the church. I feel like they did some spot recording for this, and they went out
Yeah.
and recorded
I
some
agree
places
with that.
and some things,
especially in
and
the
put them
first
in the
song,
background.
right at the first song. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's an interesting thing to do. I think it was nice, and I think it worked a lot of the time. And some of the times it didn't work, but it never put me off.
Yeah.
I'd never hear something and go.
Speaking of weird outros, what did you think of the outro of the first song, which had a piano?
I liked.
I liked. They had quite a few pianos like all over the.
Yeah, they
record.
did.
I liked how much
really liked them.
in
But
that song.
When
there
it was just by itself, what do you think of it?
I liked
Because
how
that was
much
for about a
variety there
minute.
was. Yeah,
I thought it was a little simple, but it was nice, simple.
Yeah.
I thought that song specifically had a great variety of stuff in breaks, because I love the intro, and then it got into the medley bit, and I wasn't so much a fan, and then it braked, and I was like, I like this as well.
I
and
believe
it's
the
different.
correct term is it broke.
It broke. Strong point. It broke.
Or did it broke?
It went into the break, and it had a nice sort of interesting guitar thing. I was like, oh, this is nice as well. And then it got to the outro, and I was like, oh, I hope the guitar thing comes back. And then it was a piano thing, and I was like, oh, this is nice as well.
Yeah.
There was so much different stuff, and it was a bit sort of. It felt a bit empty, but I thought it was meant to. You know, it was.
Yeah.
There's a few things like there's a Porter song that it's quite sounded like the outro to me, where it just has sort of a lone piano, and I think it's meant to, after such a big song, feel quite like empty.
Did you pick out in the fade out of the first song with only the piano? It was playing a very simple, repetitive pattern. Did you notice on like the 5th repeat of it or something, there was like one off-key note? Did you notice that? I actually really enjoyed it, and I know it's one note, and it's only for like
But it's
one
one things.
chord.
It's subtle, you know, and it's
But I
if they
loved
had
it.
too much of it, it would sound off key and sound bad.
Was
because
it
they just throw it
unsettling? Was it meant to sound kind of like?
Yeah.
because it's a whole dark, empty
love that
feel.
kind
of-
It fits in. It's very much like.
I think dissonance just works.
Again, I'm going to use another like dance act reference, but set the album 7 by Deadmau5.
Yeah.
Entirely piano album. Some of the stuff on that where he uses dissonance really well. It put me in mind of that.
Oh
and
yeah, I
loved
know
it,
you mean.
And I was like, oh, that, yeah.
I was surprised by how much clean guitar they were able
Yes.
to implement without it really
It
kind
never
of changing.
sounded. It would go from super distorted to this quite clean stuff, and you wouldn't go like, "Oh God, it's clean now."
Yeah.
It would take you a while to notice. And you go, "Oh shit, the distortion's gone."
Yeah.
It worked really well. Yeah.
I feel like this album might have not been for me because I was enjoying the softer, cleaner bits
same.
the nice sort of chorusy guitars and the reverbs, and I liked it a lot. I didn't dig some of the really aggressive stuff, but I found myself towards the end of the album, like they'd go into like, what they'd do is they do a lot of quiet moments to kind of, so when everything drops, it really hits you like super hard.
Yeah.
And I really felt some of them.
That really did work, yeah.
Especially when they slowed it down a bit and got more intense. Because when it's like, I can't get into it. I go back to the vocals as well. You said you weren't a big fan of them. I liked the way they kept it so plain and simple. There's nothing they did in this album they couldn't do live on stage.
Yeah. Have you seen the videos of them live?
You know, you'll watch that Pitchfork gig.
Pitchfork video.
I then went and watched all of that last night.
It's actually incredible.
Yeah.
Like to the point where if I were to see it walking past, I would actually go and watch it.
See the gig walking past? Oh, you're walking past the gig?
As I'm at the gig.
One of them new walking
gigs. If I were to walk past that particular stage, I would actually go watch it, and I'm not usually the kind of person that would go to that.
I feel like
it looked so energetic and powerful.
Yeah, well, energetic. I thought like the shoegaze part of the
drummer was.
Well, he had to be.
Exactly.
Fucking hell. The shoegaze part. Like I liked the description of that subgenre. It comes from apparently. You see them on stage and they look kind of emotionless and like they're doing nothing, but it's because they're doing the guitar pedals.
Yeah,
trying to get like all these
pedals
effects
on the guitar. Yeah,
I really like that.
That's
but
funny.
The George, the vocalist.
Oh, Asda. Yeah.
George Clark. Stop.
That's where I got these things.
That's where I got this.
Like I don't think Walmart needs any more plugging.
Yeah.
Than,
George, how about you sponsor us? That's true. That would be Walmart sponsoring us.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
As you were saying before I rudely interrupted.
George Clark, although on the album I find the screamo a little bit inaccessible. He picked me up on this the other day, and I was like, inaccessible. It's like inaccessible.
Pedanticism,
like,
ladies and gentlemen. Pedanticism.
Pedantistics.
I'm not autistic.
Artistic. I thought he had a super intense stage presence. The second he was on stage and he was like, I was like, man, I would watch this even if I don't understand a lot of what he's saying. I understood. Yeah. I didn't know he was saying about 95% of the time, 90 to 95% of the time. I bet there are like big fans out there that can understand everything he's saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure that when you're into that kind of music, it's a lot easier to understand.
Yeah. Like
or maybe you just don't care, and it's the power
you enjoy it.
Or
it's
maybe you just learn the lyrics, and then once you know it, like you read it as like it's something else. Because I know a lot. Some of my friends used to do that. They used to be really into the lyrics of the songs, and they'd be like, "Oh, that song sounded good. Let's find out what the lyrics were." You know.
The funny thing, I was looking at the lyrics while I was listening to it. Some of them were like dark.
Yeah. That's the point.
I didn't expect it from his beautiful singing voice. No, some of it sounded quite like
such excellent falsetto.
Such a gentle tone.
Such a sweet song about love and loss.
That's why I was like, I wonder what he's singing about. And I looked at the lyrics of it. I thought he was such a sweet young man. I guess I was wrong.
I'm sending him less money for Christmas.
Yeah, he had like this kind of like Ian Curtis kind of intensity about him on stage, and it really kind of makes you want to. I'd love to see them live.
What I really liked, although it isn't something I would have thought that I would have liked, was how far back in the mix the vocals were. For quite a lot of the album.
I liked that as well, especially because I hated the vocals. So them being back in the mix was quite nice to me. It wasn't so.
For me, it was like
and
because I couldn't understand them. They were providing an energy behind the instrumentation.
I can see that.
Rather than what you would normally have, which is the instrumentation accompanying the frontman.
Such minimal processing on the vocals. Like when he would like stop singing, you'd hear the tail, and you could just about pick up some reverb, maybe a touch delay. Obviously compression and stuff, because you can't really make an album without. Yeah.
We haven't said what our favourite songs are.
Baby Blue.
Is that it?
Done. The end.
Okay.
Next song.
For me, I think Gifts for the Earth.
Yeah, that was like second favorite.
Because particularly, that was one of the songs where I felt the guitar was doing the most interesting work.
acoustic guitar in that as well.
Yeah.
I loved the guitar arpeggio in that song specifically, and a lot of the guitar melody stuff in that song was really good. Then I put that as my first favourite. My second favourite, I put Come Back, minute 5 to 9.
Minute 5 to 9.
Because that was excellent, and I got really into that.
Yeah.
But the first part was bad. I think the only bad parts on this album are the first part of Come Back and Luna. Brought to the Water and Baby Blue, I think, were both pretty decent.
What I do find kind of interesting about this album is that because of how long the songs are, you're struggling to kind of get into them. But the more you listen to it, the more you can appreciate particular parts of the album.
This was a thing that I thought when I looked at it, because they're really long songs.
Yeah.
But they do a really good job of progression, and incredibly good. And they like, there's enough in there that they sort of deserve to be as long. They merit the lengths of the track that they are, because there is so much within it that I feel like I never listen after getting into them. Like you said, it's hard when you sort of put it on shuffle and you're like, what is this? You're like, is this song still on? What the hell? But once you listen to it, you're like, no, there's stuff happening throughout this.
Yeah,
if you're into this music, I could definitely see these as like strobe tracks, you know?
Yeah.
Like strobe or something where you're like, the whole song, you can get into every different bit of it. And the whole thing is...
When I listened to it the first time round and I was really trying to pick everything apart and like compartmentalize everything and just think about it all separately, it was hard to listen to. But on my second listen, where I just didn't pay attention to it, I just let it kind of soak in.
Yeah.
You could really like dig it.
Yeah, it was really difficult. The first listen for me with metal music, not all metal music, but black metal, Deafheaven in particular, the first listen isn't always the easiest. But when you go back and listen to it more, if you're willing to kind of get into it, it really is rewarding. It's
I found the album Sunbather more accessible to me.
Yeah,
I thought
Sunbather, their previous album, was definitely, for me, far more accessible. And possibly the most accessible black metal album of like the last 10 years. And I don't know whether we've mentioned it already, but New Bermuda is only 5 tracks long, and they're only 8 to 10 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
But it's a normal size album, 50 minutes approximately.
Yeah, but song-wise, it's more like an EP.
Song-wise, it's yeah. So for that reason, it is really difficult.
It felt like black metal opera at some points. A lot going on in every song.
I think this would be interesting if they got an opera singer, right? If they did it well.
You just don't like
George.
I don't like him. I'm sure he's great on stage. That's fine.
You know what I like most about George Clark?
Yeah.
His haircut, man. He has a really sharp haircut. Have you seen it though?
Yeah, I have.
It's like on point.
I wouldn't say that was the most appealing factor about him as a musician.
I love. Oh my god,
Gareth would.
I love so much watching like interviews with like these black metal artists like after their gigs, saying like often they're just like the nicest people that like have a really soft voice, like we did our best, we tried ours.
Yeah,
and like
they're usually quite camera shy. And, like,
yeah.
But then they go on stage and they're just like, I control you. I'm in control of the situation. My favourite was Baby Blue, but also Come Back. I actually really liked it, despite the fact that you didn't like those at the start.
That's right.
The culmination at the end, where it brought the parts that you didn't like and the parts you did like into one thing, I thought that one section was actually incredible. Exactly. I thought it was incredible. And yeah, but a problem with the album, and I don't know whether it's because I didn't listen to it enough or didn't give it a chance, I didn't feel as though the outro concluded the album as well as it could have done. It kind of just I don't know, the song was good.
I feel like
it was very good.
I feel like the best intro and outro was both on the same song. I feel like Brought to My Water could have been the intro or the outro.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well.
But I don't think any of the other songs had, or especially not Gifts of the Earth, didn't have the strong outro that would finish an album.
And I loved Luna as an intro and outro.
Oh my god.
It had such a great intro and it had such a great outro.
I love the guitar.
They were really different to each other as well.
I thought Luna was like so fucking intense, that song.
Yeah, it was.
Like the lead guitar, like just after the first kind of verse, it's hard to break down their songs into verses and choruses and things. But it was really reminiscent. It's like this kind of dissonant guitar picking, really reminiscent of John Murphy's score on the 28 theme. You've seen the movie 28 Days Later?
Yeah.
Had that
you're
kind
right,
of-
You're right, I can see that.
Yeah. It was just awesome.
What I really liked, even though again it's such a small thing, was on Luna,
Yeah.
between the verses and the chorus, as it went into the chorus, everything would drop out, and then the guitar would just go like, and that's it, and then it would just bam into a massive like break blast beat, not break beat. Yeah, it was
Breakbeat is something I would like.
into a massive blast beat track with really chaotic, full-bodied guitar behind it. But again, like the guitar effects throughout that track, and it's difficult to just say that track had like really good X because there were so many different things happening.
Because there were so many Ys.
Exactly.
Up
There
there.
were just there was a Z. I think there was a Z.
I think I saw an O at one point, buddy.
Oh my! Yeah, the guitar effects were amazing. The clean guitar was really good.
Yeah.
I loved it in that track, and the delay that was on it worked really well.
I agree. I think my favourite part of the album was probably the first few minutes of Baby Blue.
Yeah.
There's kick-ass instrumental with both the guitarists like playing pretty much the same thing, and actually it's like melodic, but they're playing very similar notes, like notes really close to each other.
Yeah.
And they're playing the same sort of thing. Sometimes they go a bit different from each other, and the drumming is so playful and full of little thrills and fills,
Which
and
was where it's
really
really
tasty.
good. When this drumming was not just going for it, I feel
Definitely.
like with a lot of the fills and little bits to put in. Even when it was blast beats, there were still some excellent fills in there as well. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the bits where the drummer obviously got to be more sort of expressive. I think he sort of showed it was really good.
Yeah, I think everyone just showed their best on Baby Blue. Yeah, the big, like, it just goes boom at one point, big old triumphant kind of chord progression starts happening. I think it's the best performance from George, with the vocals there. Maybe
I also
I'm
thought
sure
that there
it
was
was.
kind of like an organ, like
Yeah.
towards the just for the outro. I could kind of pick out an organ, but it might have just been
I'll
the
have to go back and
guitars
listen to
being
that.
left on
Yeah, it could
and
be.
just kind of left ringing.
But out of nowhere on that track, Baby Blue, a wild wah-wah pedal appears, and a guitar solo, like, straight out of Stadium Arcadium kind of, like, hits you. And, like, if anyone knows how I feel about John Frusciante, I have no complaints about that.
No
But I
complaints.
don't know if it fitted. Amazing, though. I still enjoyed it.
There was also like a slide guitar sound towards the end as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether it was because he was playing slide guitar on his extremely distorted electric guitar,
Yeah.
or whether it was just a really nice sounding guitar. Like, it was really good. I loved it. That track in particular was probably my favourite. I'd probably rate that above Comeback.
Okay. Sure. Any last thoughts about Gifts for the Earth before we wrap up today's session?
Last thoughts about Gifts for the Earth.
Yeah. I actually thought that...
I thought the drums really drove the song. I
Yeah.
thought that they really pushed that song forward.
I felt like it was a genuinely beautiful song. I don't know how you feel about that. And I think it wrapped up the album really nicely. You said you didn't like the end of the song.
I don't think not the end of the song. I don't think it was a good end to the album.
Oh, okay.
I feel as though the outro wasn't that strong.
Yeah.
Well,
there were a lot better outros in there.
I liked it. And it's my show. So what I say goes.
Yeah, it was really
No,
good. It's actually my favourite outro that I've ever listened to.
I actually think it was the best. I think it was just the best.
Well,
I actually
now that
think
I
love
am
it.
head honcho, I get my own mug. I'm going to get some branding on it soon. You'll see a Sonic Squeeze thing here. But till then, I'm a talk show host. I feel pretty damn good about it.
Okay,
This is
ratings.
Yeah, ratings out of 10. Gareth
I don't want to start
Rio.
this time.
Okay,
You
you
don't? Okay.
start, buddy.
For me,
Uh-huh.
if I listened to it a lot more, I could easily imagine myself getting even more into it than I am currently.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I'm going to give it an 8. But if you were to
8?
ask me after maybe 10 more listens through the whole
Yeah.
album,
Is it a grower?
probably go
Not
up
sure.
to a 9.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to give this album a 7. I think if I keep it, I'm actually like really interested in hearing like more of their stuff. When they bring out a new album, I'll definitely listen to that. I might even try and see if I can go and see them at some point. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
I felt really conflicted when giving this a score Because by the sort of way that we talk about scores and think about scores, I was like, it should probably have a 5 from how I feel about it very personally. But I think it's much better than that. I think if I was like someone who was really super into it, I'd say like if I was sort of the person who liked that sort of vocals and the blast beat and the metal, then I think I would put it more at a 7. So I'm gonna go in the middle of that and say 6.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I feel like we dealt with this album nicely.
I feel like it's been dealt with.
Yeah, we dealt with the album. We've been the Sonic Squeeze. In fact, we still are. I'm Kit Campbell.
I intend to be in the future.
Yeah, like in a minute now, we're going to do another one and everything. I'm still Kit Campbell. He's still James. Gareth.
I'm still Gareth, at least for now.
And we're gonna sign off. We're gonna say goodbye. That's all from us, folks.
Sign off.
Goodbye. Anything to add there, James?
No.
Predictions.
I predicted that you would give this album an 8. And I predicted that you would give this album a 7.
Ooh.
And if you don't believe me, it's written there.
Yeah, but you could have written that like while
Yeah.
saying
I could have, that's true, but I haven't. You're just going to have to trust me. I
Predictions
guess.
are based on the trust.
Oh, there's a hair in my mug.
Nice music going into it.
I love the kind of juxtaposition you get with
Yes.
the crazy drumming. Like, it got to the end of some songs and I actually physically felt sorry for the drummer because I thought, that
How is
was
he alive?
insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like, I couldn't believe someone could do it. And the 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like, the standard kind of length in this
Tracks,
album is 8 to 10 minutes long.
I'd
per
love
track.
to hear that they did at least one part of it in one take.
You know what? I think it is one take.
I would if these songs were like one take through the whole song, that would be incredible.
Because
Surely
don't
not.
think-
Surely
something
not.
I actually appreciate about the production is that it sounds like it could have been recorded in someone's basement. And that's not a bad
No.
criticism. I think it gives it a lot of
I can see what
personality.
you mean, yeah. It
No,
definitely,
I do understand.
it's not super clean. It's not like
Yeah.
totally sort of precise.
It's
There's
got
a lot of
it's got some
personality
character to
to
it.
it. Yeah, definitely.
Even some of the like the drumming, like especially on I think it's Baby Blue, you listen to like the reverb on those drums, it sounds like it could be live. I liked it, to be honest.
Yeah. I thought
Is
that
it like they all hate each other's subgenre? It's great.
We had a lot of friends who are metal fans in school.
Yeah. Anyway, this band
Back to
seems to
them.
have a kind of Marmite status in the world amongst the metal community, should I say? People seem to think that they're either the best thing since sliced bread, or just I've quoted I've heard the term hipster metal has been thrown around because
Yet another subgenre.
yeah, you don't want to listen to that. That's black metal, but like it appeals to the public. No, it appeals to people, so don't bother listening to that. Basically, hate's gonna hate.
haters are gonna hate.
It's really gonna.
hate. What do you guys think of the album?
I want to set off first, just
Okay.
making
Yep.
it clear. I fucking hate every piece of vocal work on this entire album.
What?
I cannot stand.
It was very atmospheric album.
Yeah.
They got the kind of feeling behind everything that they were doing exactly how they wanted.
Yeah.
It was also, as a metal album and as a black metal album, a very dark album. It was unrelenting at times, but it was mixed in with a lot of really simple kind of guitar riffs, which really worked well
Yes.
compared to the like
Sometimes I
complex.
think they were a little
other-
too simple.
Sometimes.
Like the first song, I thought that
Yeah.
they had this like little pick, like guitar
like an
picking thing at the end.
arpeggiated pick,
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of dull.
I
Wasn't what I
liked
expected
it
at all.
only because as a thing by itself, I don't think it was amazing. But in relation to what it was with, I thought it was kind of, it was really pushing the boundary of what I would define as good.
I wanna
But
go with-
it was there, like
Talking about the
I
sort
could
of
feel it.
the levels of it at all. It's awful when I hear it.
Okay.
Right? And the drumming in areas is excellent, and you can tell the drummer who recorded is really talented. But they have a lot of blast beat in this. I have
Yeah.
a lot of friends who are drummers, so I don't go out. and I don't like blast beat. I
Okay.
think it's really
No, that's fair
boring
enough.
and shitty. That's the stuff I want to get out of the way, so you know that every song that applies to. But I didn't necessarily dislike the album. I thought the rest of the music on most of the tracks could
You
be
have an eyelash.
really good.
Hold still.
That is where my eyelashes are located.
Have an eyelash. Yang.
Okay. That just happened.
That just happened, yeah. So, starting off with the first one, start this album playing, I love the intro on the first track, with the bells going from left to right and the distant church bells in the background. I thought it was really cool and atmospheric.
Yeah.
It then got into the very metal guitar-y bit, and I don't like it much, it's not my style, but you could tell in a lot of it there were good melodies going on there. It wasn't just all thrash and distortion, there was some nice...
Hello, and welcome back to the Sonic Squeeze. Today, we're talking about the new Deafheaven album, New Bermuda. It is a black metal shoegaze fusion band, black gaze if you will. just realised how funny that sounds. Fucking metal bands with their subgenres,
If you're into
man.
black gaze, this is the right album for you.
Metal bands and like
the worst for
and dance, metal bands and like real like dance music nerds are the worst for subgenres.
It just irks me, something terrible.
Yeah.
You couldn't listen to like some big metal fans talking to each other about genres for more than 30 seconds.
Post-hardcore and post-black hardcore and post-black speed hardcore.
And the funny thing is,